You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is brought to you by Peach State Payments, ethical processing, more profit, less stress. Chiro HD, more than an EHR, practice management simplified. The Chiro Speaking Company, attract, educate, and convert. Chiro Spring, cloud-based, user-friendly software with all the essential features chiropractors need. Rudman Relight, the IFCO, Chiro Moguls, Chiro Health USA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, and Life West College of Chiropractic. Let's hustle. This episode of Chiro Hustle is brought to you by Relight Hydration by Redmond. Here's the truth. Most Americans are walking around dehydrated, low energy, brain fog, muscle cramps, afternoon crashes. And many people think they just need more coffee, when they actually need more electrolytes. Because hydration isn't just about drinking more water, it's about the minerals. Your body relies on electrolytes like sodium, potassium, and trace minerals to help your cells actually absorb and use the water you drink. Without those minerals, water alone doesn't do the job. That's where Relight Hydration comes in. Relight is built around Rudman Real Salt, a natural, mineral-rich salt harvested from an ancient seabed in Utah. It provides the foundational sodium your body needs for proper hydration, along with balanced electrolytes to support energy, muscle function, and daily performance. No artificial dyes, no unnecessary fillers, just clean electrolytes built around real mineral salt. Because at Redmond, we believe the secret's in the salt. If you're new to Relight, start with their sample pack so you can try multiple flavors and find your favorite. Once hydration becomes part of your daily rhythm, you'll feel the difference. And chiropractors understand this well. The nervous system runs on electrical signals, and electrolytes help support that communication throughout the body. If you're tired of hitting the wall mid-afternoon, it might not be more caffeine you need, it might just be better hydration. Go to chirohustle.com and get 25% off of Relight with their exclusive promo. Hydrate smarter, move better, stay aligned.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 762 of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. I'm your producer, Luke Millette, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we have the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Timay Ozkose. If you want to hear our conversation about chiropractic in Australia and coaching, stay tuned for the full episode. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle Podcast. Today we're going down under. I think they still call it that. I have Timay Ozkose on with me. He likes to call himself Dr. Oz. But we're going to talk about some really cool stuff today. Graduation and struggling as a chiropractor, some business talk, how to be a team player, and finding amazing new patients. And really excited for this show. I'm going to follow the regular format that we go after with Chiro Hustle Podcast. So I'm going to give a quick introduction and say why we do what we do over here. Well, first things first, which Dr. Timay was really excited about, is freedom of speech. We support freedom of speech. It's so important for autonomy and language and real live conversation. So we do that over here. We also believe in medical freedom and family health freedom. They're not the same things. So if you're looking for those solutions and access to those resources, go find a chiropractor in your city. And I'm sure they'd be happy to guide you with any of the topics of medical freedom or family health freedom and get the hard questions answered. We also believe in protecting the sacred trust. If you don't know what that is, it's BJ Palmer's last written words. Go to the show notes, click on it, check it out. I don't care if you've been practicing for 50 years, you're going to fall back in love or more in love with this beautiful profession of chiropractic. So BJ Palmer's sacred trust means a lot to me, and it means a lot to the chiropractic profession. We also believe in subluxation-based chiropractic. I know I shouldn't have to say that, but they're removing the lexicon from the chiropractic colleges, and they're trying to shift the dynamics of the profession right before our very eyes. So if you know a chiropractic student, please share the show with them and get them some philosophy, because the world needs more chiropractic messaging. And I just think that it's important for us to have the front of the show anchored with truth. We also believe in innate intelligence, universal intelligence, and the educated intelligence. We believe that when man or woman, the physical, gets adjusted, it connects them to man or woman, the spiritual, which creates the educated. With that, this is episode 762. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. 762. That's amazing. I know we were briefly mentioning you've been doing it for so many years now. Almost, was it 8 years now, James?
8.5.
8.5. So I feel very grateful to be here and very thankful for you to be able to invite me here, because 762 shows me a couple things: dedication, commitment, and the willingness to do what needs to be done for chiropractic.
Yeah, it's called standing in the gap.
Yeah.
And the gap sometimes is a lonely place, sometimes it's a cold place, sometimes it's a hot place. And I think that's important for us all to learn what it's like to stand in the gap for something we believe in.
Yeah. So just want to say thank you. And today, everyone listening today, I'm just going to give value, just tons and tons of values. And, you spoke about students. It's one of my biggest passions because, when I graduated, just past 8 years ago, my first year out was the most difficult year ever. We're talking struggling in terms of just being able to make a living, because I didn't just work chiropractic. I worked a second job trying to make money on the side. So a lot of people might not know this, but I only made $20,000. Massive debt, massive degree debt that I had to pay. And then you're out there going, yes, I've just started chiropractic. I've learned this. I can't wait to give back to people. Can't wait to get people healthier, stronger. My philosophy fully not ingrained yet. And then all of a sudden you're going, twiddling your thumbs and saying, how do I actually grow myself as a chiropractor? So that was my first year out as a student.
Yeah, I think it's really honest. And there's a lot of people out there that are probably like, well, why'd you do it? And I'm sure, did you get some pushback from your friends and family as to like, what the hell did you do with your life? Why'd you become a chiropractor?
Hard. They didn't know what chiropractic was. They didn't know exactly what it's all about. You got everything from the previous AMA. Oh, aren't you guys quacks? You guys don't do anything like that. But they didn't understand the deeper meaning behind chiropractic, the actual amazingness of what we do, restoring innate intelligence, restoring function of the body. And I wanted to give that back because chiropractic changed my life. That's how I found out about chiropractic. I didn't have families in chiropractic. I didn't know anyone that was a chiropractor. I had an injury. Chiropractic came into my life. The medical system failed me, changed my life for the better. And then I said, you know what? I'm giving back. And I persevered.
When was your first adjustment? How old were you?
12 years ago.
Okay. And
no, actually, wait, how many years is it?
Do you remember what the experience was like when you got adjusted?
15 years. It was amazing. It was like, let's not just call it amazing. Let's just go, like, I can't remember my facial expression, but it was like, whoa, what was that? That was crazy. And then you get up and then you start to feel the change. You start to notice your nervous system just firing, like you feel the heat of the adjustment, something that's been so restricted and stuck for so many years. And then all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is amazing.
I speak at a lot of conferences, and I've said before, like, if we were just to go around the world globally and adjust C1 on every politician that exists from every nationality, we would change the world in a day.
I agree.
And the reason I think they're such assholes is because they're so tense and stressed that they're all subluxated. And if they were to get that one adjustment, we'd have a miracle that would change the world overnight.
Can you just imagine they go from like the most stiff, robust, worst person ever to the most relaxed, calm, and loving person?
Yeah. And then they wouldn't be indoctrinated into the medical model anymore. And they'd be like, what is this chiropractic thing that everybody told me I shouldn't like?
So true. So true. How do we do it? How do we just raid their houses and quickly be like, let's adjust C1?
Well, we got to make it an initiative. We have to make it like a plan. And anything that right now I'm reading a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and it's
Great book.
it's a power of manifestation. And I think that if people really thought about how to make that happen, I was watching this Andrew Tate clip, and he said, well, I moved to Romania, I think it was, for a little bit. And he's like, I have this super car, and I had it like brought in, and I drove it to the nicest hotel, and there was a kid there, and he asked me if he could take a photo of photos of my car and email them to me. And I was like, well, sure. And he's like, gets to know him a little bit after he emails him the photos. He's like, I have plenty of photos for my car. But he's like, well, why do you take pictures of everybody's photos of their cars and send it to him? He's like, because I realized that if I wanted to make money in this world, I had to get close to the people with the most money. So I knew that anybody that came to this hotel, they would be high value people. And if I took pictures of them and I sent them the pictures of the photos of their cars, now I have their email addresses. And the Andrew Tate says, I hired that kid the next day.
Thinking outside the box is really good. And
So
the station.
yeah, so we have to go where the people hang out and find those prime ministers over there and take photos of them or something. I don't know. However, you can get close to them and say, let me check your spine. Let me adjust you.
That's it.
And that's what you have to do. Really, if you want to shake the world, you have to adjust it and get people's head on straight.
Hopefully we're going to make it happen sooner rather than later. Because the longer we wait, the more sicker and sicker people get.
Mm-hmm. So students, you said it's a big calling of yours, working with students and helping students.
Yeah.
Let's talk business to them. What's the message that you would talk to a chiropractic student today that's about to finish university? What's the message you would give to them?
Just honestly, they need to be the willingness to be able to get yourself out there and show yourself. You need to be able to market. You need to be able to market chiropractic first. It's not even marketing yourself. You need to be able to market chiropractic. And the way you do that is through your philosophy. It's through what you know as your certainty. Are you certain in your philosophy? Are you certain in your clinical experience? You need to build that up. You need to spend your time learning those steps and those processes so that when you get out in the real world, you are being able to attract people to you. And attraction doesn't just happen by sitting down twiddling your thumbs. It's by getting out there in every avenue that you can. It can be through digital, it can be out just by going to the local neighbors, getting out to markets and just setting up screenings. You have to be able to get yourself out there. You don't even have to learn business fully, right? You're going to learn that as you become a chiropractor if you are a business owner. But if you're an associate, you still need to be able to get yourself out there to grow. So it's such an important skill to have, but it's always ingrained in the philosophy of chiropractic first, because that's where you get your certainty to be able to market yourself.
Well, I think what you're saying there is we have to develop courage, and courage is marketing. And you have to have an ounce of courage to get patience. Yes. And the only way to do that is to have a high self-esteem and not care if people don't like you and not care if people don't like your message. Because what comes in leaves fast, you just have to have a quick memory and not let it sit with you when people, one of the things I tell people all the time is I have a no rejection gene. Like, you can't tell me no, because like I said off camera, when you tell me no, you're telling yourself no. And there's like that, it's the mental judo of that. Like, it's not a big deal to me. So when you go out there and you're trying to help people, it's just a big numbers game. You have to give yourself permission to be great and go out there and hit numbers. And the only way that you can build a practice is go out there and do your best every day. It's important for students to hear this message. It's not going to be easy. Anything cheap, fast, or easy it's typically not worth it.
Definitely not. And just to honestly, just to add to that, if you honestly think about when you feel apprehensive, you feel you don't have that courage, it's because you're thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about that person in front of you. Like, I'll give you a great example. I was just at the supermarkets just earlier this week, and I see someone on the counter limping. The first thing I did was I went up to that person and be like, hey, may I just ask what's been going on with your limp? Oh, I've got this issue. Have you been to a chiropractor? No, I haven't. Have you got x-rays, scans, films? Have you been assessed? No. Here's our card. We're literally 5 minutes away from here. That was it. Will they come in for a checkup? Not my problem. But if I didn't ask, if I did not ask that person then and there, their life may not change for the better.
Mm-hmm. And like I was saying to you the first time we connected, you get everything you don't ask for. Like, you have to ask. It's probably the most important thing. And when I give talks, I tell people, do you have a cell phone? They say, yeah. I say, well, take it out of your pocket. Look at it. Can you tell me that you have 50 people as a contact? Yep. Well, reach out to every one of them and tell them that you want them to come in and be a new patient.
That's it.
I'm
That's
like,
it.
if you're having problems building a practice, you have to have the courage to reach out to 50 people in your cell phone that are personal contacts of you and say, hey, if this isn't for you, I want you to tell 3 to 5 people, tell me 3 to 5 people I can connect with that need what I do.
So good. So good.
Gold, right?
It's a gold mine right then and there.
There's not anybody in there that doesn't have 50 contacts in their phone.
Oh, I don't want to go for mine. It's too many.
Yeah, I was just counting the other day. I have 900 DCs on my phone.
Amazing.
Yeah, it's just it's the thing though. Like, I never worry about business. If I need business, I reach out and say, "Hey, what are your marketing plans for 2026?" And out of 900, think about it. I only need 10 to tell me that they need help.
That's it. And
But
it's it. Like,
your network's your net worth.
what's that as a percentage? Almost 10%.
Yeah,
It's not.
I'm too busy then.
Oh, too good, James. I love it.
Team player. You do some group coaching. Talk about being a team player.
Okay. So I run just a bit of a background for everyone. I have a team, so I don't have a solo practice. I have multiple associates. I have multiple CAs as well. So we're a team of about 12 to 14. I'm pretty sure we're a team of 14. I've got 4 associates, 4 DCs. And you need 8 players. You need solid team and you need training behind it. Like, you can't scale and grow. You can't serve the people to the best of your ability on your own. So you need a world-class team around you. So how do you develop that? Because you don't just, go to the aisle and be like, yep, you're an A-class player. I'll definitely hire you. You're not. I won't hire you. It's not like that. You can create certain steps to be able to find the right people, but then you need to train them and you need to equip them. And that's how you develop them.
Well,
so I'll let you go, James.
Yeah. I just believe it's season, reason, or lifetime. You know, when people jump in and work with you, you can't be disappointed when people graduate and get better and want to go do their own thing either. Just because that the opportunity is there for these people doesn't mean that that's their vision. That's not on their vision board. That's not what they're trying to manifest for their life. So you also can't try to possess people once they're in your system and a part of your team. You should congratulate them and send them off with good grace, and be thankful that they had a chance to work side by side with you for whatever time they pick with you.
And I always start with anyone that before I hire. I always start, what do you want to do in the future? What are your goals? What are your plans? Do you want to start, if it's an associate, do you want to have your own practice in the future? If you do want to have your own practice in the future, I might be able to help them. I might help them, or I might assist them in helping them set their own practice. Or do they just want to, they've been in practice for 25 years, they've had their own practice, they're done with that, they just want to adjust. Let me help you with that. Wherever your goal is, I want to know, and I want to help support you hit that goal, because what this world needs right now is more successful chiropractors. There will
Amen.
always be another chiropractor that we can find. Not an issue. But for you to go out there and serve the community that you want to go with your vision, let me help you. Like, holy crap. That's what it's about.
Who are some of your mentors?
Heaps. I've got heaps of mentors. I've got heaps of coaches, but right now I would say I've got Dr. Bobby from TRP. He's really great. I've got Dan Martell. He's also one of my great mentors as well. Just one of the classics, Tony Robbins, really just shaping yourself as a person, as an individual. And John DeMartini, absolute legend, really helped me define my own core values, my own beliefs, and how to actually follow my life according to those beliefs. So those have been some really key standouts in terms of mentors for me.
Have you ever been to one of those big groups that DeMartini puts on or Tony Robbins puts on?
Not yet.
Yeah, I think he's doing some in-person. DeMartini's doing some in-person events in Australia this year.
Yes, I'm looking forward to those. So it's going to be really good.
Breakthrough experience. I recommend it. I can't recommend it highly enough. I've influenced many people to go see it and do the breakthrough experience. Like, to have access to a man that's 70, that's read more books than anybody else in the world, like alive today. Like, he's read more books than anybody else that's alive today.
Yeah.
To be able to pay a couple $1,000s to go be with him for a weekend is priceless. Priceless.
The best investment you can make is on yourself. Like, everything else can pass and go, but you are always with yourself every step of the way, every second. So you need to be investing in yourself. Just like he does, reading the most books. Like, look at that. You put me in a book for 20 minutes and I'm like, all right, I'm done with this book. I'll read it later. Like the most recent book I'm reading right now, this one here by Sabri, I'm like almost done and dusted. So this is quite raw. But I've been reading that for like a month and a half. Still not finished.
You've made it to Chiro Hustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is brought to you by Peach State Payments, ethical processing, more profit, less stress. Chiro HD, more than an EHR, practice management simplified. The Chiro Speaking Company, attract, educate, and convert. Chiro Spring, cloud-based, user-friendly software with all the essential features chiropractors need. Redmond Relight, the IFCO, Chiro Moguls, Chiro Health USA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, and Life West College of Chiropractic. Let's hustle. Hey docs, let me ask you something. Are you adjusting patients but not adjusting your revenue? Because a lot of chiropractors are still undercharging without even realizing it. They're accepting insurance allowances that are just too low. And they're hesitant to raise the fees because they're worried about pushback from patients. The problem is, when your fees and financial systems aren't aligned, it creates a slow leak in your practice. And when you try to grow, more marketing, more patients, maybe even another location, the leak gets bigger. There's actually a smarter way to handle this. Chiro Health USA helps chiropractors charge appropriately when insurance is available while still serving cash or limited benefit patients through a compliant discount medical plan. The results? Many practices see revenue increases around 15 to 20% without adding more visits. Same patients, better margins, more freedom. If you want to stop leaving money on the table and build a practice that's both profitable and compliant, check out chirohealthusa.com to learn more. 10 pages a day, 10 pages a day.
10 pages a day.
You just got to march it down. And sometimes you'll read 12, sometimes you'll read 15, but just set a standard 10 a day.
That's it.
I did that for a year. I was telling you, I did 75 hard for a year. And I think I read something like 22 books in 1 year. It's most books I've ever read in my life. But I read 10 pages a day.
And you grow as a result. So that's it.
Well, it's like titration, right? With chemistry. Is if you put an element into another element and they're both clear, as soon as it gets enough of one element, it changes its dynamic and becomes a new element. And that's like us as people. If you give us enough books, you drop enough knowledge into us little by little, we become a new element. We become a different version of ourselves that didn't exist before.
I'm going to even add to that. Is that all right? Can I add to that?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, you know how there's a color change that you get, but the thing is, you don't know exactly when that color change is going to happen.
No.
So if you're literally in chiropractic and you're adjusting the people in front of you and you're educating about subluxation, how many times do I have to talk about subluxation before that person looks at me and goes, subluxation, I know exactly what that means, versus, it's when the bone's not in alignment. It's like, how many times do I have to tell you? You don't know. So you don't give up. You keep dripping the information. You keep teaching chiropractic. You never stop. Just want to add that.
Yeah. Well, I think it's for the messaging, you know, and people want to be talked with. They don't want to be talked to. That's another tactic in marketing. Nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care.
That's it.
And when you understand like how simple it can be, the people that are in front of you, they'll tell more people about you if you connect with them. And I think every chiropractor needs to understand that. Like, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And you can change the world with these two hands. Like, that's the important thing to hear too, is like one of my favorite Ben Harper songs is called These Two Hands. And he talks about how a man can change the world with his two hands. And I always think about chiropractic. I think that if a chiropractor were to make that their like theme song, Ben Harper, two hands, like that's all it takes. It takes two hands to change the world. You know, my coach tells me the reason you have two eyes that look this way and two toes that point that way is because you're supposed to go that direction.
Like, honestly, I always come back to BJ's quote just off that. You know, you never know what you think, say, or do will impact the lives of thousands of millions of tomorrow. Honestly.
So you talked about BJ.
Yeah.
Over my shoulder, you can't see it there.
I can see the green books.
Yeah. I just ordered a collection of 15 of them. So after I finish this next version of 75 Hard, I'm going to start jumping into some green books and getting more philosophy. I've actually never read one.
They're heavy. I've only done the summarized versions, and even them, they're heavy. I need to get myself the green books too, but the originals, they're really hard to find.
Yeah, I bought this collection, and it was delivered to my house from Dr. Barry Hobbs, and my roommate grabbed it up, and there was like, "What the hell did you buy?" It was almost, I think I almost spent like $900 on that collection. So they're not cheap. They're
not, but they're worth it because that's history right there.
Yeah. And you got to have that. You got to have that at your fingertips. And you know, what I always tell people, what you pay for, you pay attention to.
That's it. Oh, 100%. If it's for free, it's for free. I'm not really committed. I put money behind it. You're definitely 100% sure I'm going to be reading it.
Let's talk about the future. Chiropractic in Australia. What's going on over there now?
You did say I could say whatever I want to say, right?
Yep.
All right. So I want you to picture a shit show. All right. I want you to picture there are chiropractors that are not subluxation based. Pretty sure it's similar to US in that regard. But there is no consensus. There is no unity between chiropractors. We are still divided in what we're trying to head towards or what we're trying to achieve, even just to be a unified body that makes decisions for all rights of chiropractors. We don't even have that. There's no proper unity. Like, it's like if you want to practice a certain way, you want to believe a certain way, that's cool. But we don't even have that. It's literally, we have one governing body that governs all health professions in Australia, and we don't have a chiropractic body that governs chiropractic. So whatever they say, everyone has to comply to. Does that make sense?
Well, you have people that are regulatory boards that know nothing about chiropractic regulating chiropractic.
That's it. And it's one of the
And they don't value it.
They don't. There's no love, there's no passion, there's no
So
understanding.
it's easy to put you guys in the corner.
Exactly right. And then you've got part of chiropractors that support that, which is even more upsetting. When all we want is just unified chiropractic under chiropractic. That's it. And I get like the politics. I'm not much of a politician. You can clearly see. You don't want me in politics. It just cause nothing but trouble. But basically, you've got the government that they're overseeing everything, making sure we're not breaking the rules, not doing anything illegal, etc. But in terms of the health choices, hey, just put it under the body to be in charge of that. And let them play politics with the government versus playing with companies.
Well, what I've noticed just from never being to Australia before is that the connection with the regulatory boards rub elbows pretty closely with the police and the authorities there. And I think that makes some strange bedfellows when you have politicians with the regulatory systems in the medical world that's supposed to help people, and they basically have a hit squad that goes and sanctions people for doing what they should be doing with their license. And I think the regulatory is a bit overreaching. And from what I've noticed is it's not about people, it's about control.
Yeah. It's honestly just about control. It's the heart, like the chiropractic is heart, right? Giving back to people, serving the communities, restoring health, right? Above, down, inside out, ADIO. But the boards, they take that away. They take away the love, the compassion, the human to human connection, and they say, control. Has to be this way. And I comply with everything that they tell me to do, and I follow it with love, and I love the control that they give me.
Yeah, hopefully they can wash that out and see how honest that was. But I if you could have a crystal ball right now, what's going to happen in a decade in Australia with chiropractic?
We're making moves, and the way we're heading is going to be to a freaking amazing place. Okay, so I just want everyone to know where we're at currently, but that doesn't mean that we're happy there. We're making the changes. So we have the ACA, Australian Chiropractic Association, absolutely amazing association with just above 50% of chiropractors in Australia joining them, right? And they're making strides into keeping chiropractic what it originally should be.
Is that Patrick Sim?
No, that's the Universe College.
Okay.
That's also another aspect that I was going to bring on. So we're having more student body colleges that's focused on chiropractic rather than university bodies that are just doing more medical system based. So you're having more chiropractic philosophy ingrained in students, which is going to shape the future coming up. But then you've got the current people in the profession right now also investing in the right thing. So we have something called the Innate Summit, where we have chiropractors that are philosophically aligned, wanting to learn more and connect with other chiropractors that think the same. So that's another opportunity for us to stay united. So there are steps moving in the right direction. So if you were to tell me in 10, 15 years where we're heading, positive rather than negative.
Yeah, I mean, we just have to you have to do a good job of being a great mentor for that next generation.
That's it.
And you have to band your group together to be great mentors and to clear the path to where people know that they can go practice and do a good job and focus on subluxation based chiropractic, be philosophically grounded. And my big takeaway from what you're sharing with me is if people honestly wanted to be more medicalized, just go to the other side and become a nurse. Go to the other side and become a doctor, a medical doctor. You don't have to go to chiropractic school and change chiropractic in a negative way for whatever short-term gains you get. Because in the long term, it doesn't gain anything for chiropractic. It's very selfish. And We're experiencing that too.
I had someone really like one of my reels that I hadn't connected in a very long time. We're talking 10 years plus. And just connecting again off that, they dropped out of practice 2 years in. They couldn't run a business and they went into an entirely different profession. So, hearing that just breaks your heart, but it's something that's so common.
Well, I think it was who was the guy that did the evolution work? Charles Darwin.
Charles Darwin.
Yeah. Well, it's survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
And Jim Morrison, one of my favorite musicians and writers of all time, he would always say, "No one gets out alive." And you got to thin the herd when people aren't successful. It's not your fault; it's their fault.
That's right.
You can't take it personal, but I think if people listen to this and they want help, they can reach out to us, and I think that that's an important thing too, is to be available. Anybody that goes to chirohustle.com and sends a message, everybody gets access to me. And if you go to @Dr.Ozkose, you get access to Dr. Timay, and you can reach out to any of us if you need help in the long game of clarity or coaching or marketing, anything that you might have questions on. And if you're out there in your regulatory board, you can reach out to me too. Good news is I'm not a chiropractor. That's kind of been how I stood in the gap since we started the show. We talked about what you could do, and like I'm unhinged because I don't have a DC degree, and there's nobody that can like come at me and like shame me or guilt me or fear me. As a journalist, my job is to produce truth, and it's my truth, and it's nobody can change that truth, and it's your truth, and nobody can change that truth. And when people want to change things, change it for the better, and make more access to healthier people. And I think that that's something that if anybody does listen to this point in the interview, is like, focus on making people healthy. Don't focus on sanctioning people that are servants. That's a big message to people. And, they're doing the same thing up in Canada. And anytime you find a marginalized group and you start really leaning on them, you hurt the GDP of health. It doesn't improve it. It just makes people sicker. And when you depend on people for one agency or one organization to keep you healthy that's failing, you got to look elsewhere. And, I think that you didn't have to say those things. I said them for you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's like I'm talking to a mirror.
Yeah, you didn't have to say the things because I said them for you. Because I think that that's the criminality of this world when it comes to wanting to witch hunt people, is they need to go look in the mirror the next time they want to put a sanction on a beautiful profession of chiropractic.
Yeah.
And they give themselves the big why. Why would I do this? And do we need to adjust your C1? And if you know what a C1 is, you're already one step forward. I know we're coming up to the edge of our show today. Is there anything I didn't ask you that you would like to talk about?
Honestly, James, you covered everything super well. And I just wanted to maybe just end with like a nice heartfelt message. Is that okay?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I love that.
Because, one of the things that really changed for me is when I had my first daughter. So she's coming to 6 months now. So joining the fatherhood side of things. And I had a big love for chiropractic before. Chiropractic changed my life, and I wanted to give back to chiropractic. But when you have a child and all of a sudden it's a different kind of love, it's a different kind of like protection as a dad, you really want to protect that little delicate baby. I just think about all the lives that we serve. Even if you're not adjusting, just by communicating chiropractic, you can help change a person's life for the better. You can open up their eyes to another way to better health. Just never forget the impact that you have, not just on that person on the table in front of you. Think about that person that goes home to their family How do they show up now because they've been adjusted versus like the politicians that are always stiff and sore, right? They're always uptight. Imagine that person that has never found chiropractic go home to their family. How do they subluxate their lives versus when they come adjusted, well aligned, subluxation free, and they go to their families? Imagine the impact that they have on their families' lives, right? Regardless if their family comes in to get adjusted or not. They should be, by the way. Family chiropractic is the best. But don't forget the impact that you have. Just want to end with that.
That's BJ Palmer's big idea. He said, if you adjust one person, it affects a family. If you adjust a family, it affects the neighborhood. If you start affecting the neighborhood, you start affecting the city. When you start affecting the city, you start affecting the state. When you start affecting the state, you start affecting the whole country. When you start affecting the whole country, that's the big idea of BJ Palmer. Now you can change the world. And I think when we think about the big idea, it's a very small thing to one person, but it's a big thing when it happens over and over again for a family and a community and a city and a state and a country. And it's a global movement. And I think he says once you get the big idea, all else follows. The thing I love about chiropractic is it doesn't put anything extra in your body. It doesn't remove anything out of your body. It just removes the interference and allows the body to heal naturally what it's supposed to. Removing the interference allows the body to go to, we'll use their word, homeostasis. It's the balance of healing. And I think that when people understood that chiropractors are a healing art with a science and a philosophy that supports it, they would have a whole different reverence for this beautiful profession. And they'd want their kids adjusted from day one. And they would want chiropractic in the schools. And they'd want chiropractic in the businesses. And they wouldn't marginalize us for damn sure. And they would celebrate us. And they would bring us food. And all the riches in the world would be given to the healers. You know, I work with a guy named Peter Morgan. And I think he's done something like 120 mission trips to Haiti. And down there, they don't have a word for chiropractic. So they call them the touch healers. And it's, to me, when I go and speak, I've mentioned I speak at a lot of different conferences, but when I go and speak at conferences, I say, you guys are the closest thing to Jesus Christ. You guys just heal people with your hands. And people come in, and that's the miracle of chiropractic, is you put your hands on people, it heals them. Nothing else like that in the world. Nothing.
Yeah. Just being grateful. Like, grateful to be able to serve. Thank you.
Well, you're episode 762. I appreciate you being on with me today. I don't know what time it is over there, halfway around the world, but
12 p.m.
It's time for bed for you. I'm sure you got a busy day ahead of you tomorrow. So it's 6 p.m. here on Tuesday, and I admire you. I admire your grit. I admire your willingness to reach out. And I just thank you so much for being a part of the chiropractic world. And I look forward to meeting you when I come over to speak at the Innate Summit here in June.
Same here. Thanks, James.
All right. Well, I will close out like I always do. I tell you guys always, you're just one story away. Keep hustling. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.